So Al Jordan captured Zan and then he blended him into a bloody smoothie before enjoying the warm drink that was once a member of the Justice League. After which he created a mini son to turn Andrew, who was similarly a vampire, into dust, therefore keeping his vampire identity a secret. But Al Jordan was not aware that Andrew, before coming to him, had first reached the Wayne Manor and dropped a message for Batman, as well as a vial of Lex Luthor's blood. Now, Batman could not trust anyone. The Justice League had been infiltrated by an ancient vampire organization and he did not know who to blame, but he still needed workforce, hands and legs on the ground. Therefore, he called the Bat family for a meeting, during which he had Alfred serve them refreshing tea as he explained the dire situation to them. But Red Hood stated that Batman had slacked, and if he could not trust anyone, then why tell them? However, Batgirl was quick to catch on and stated that Batman trusted no one. Alfred revealed that their drinks had been made with holy water, but unknown to them, Al Jordan had taken Barry to a secluded space to talk about girls. Unfortunately, Al Jordan had other plans in secret. Barry let his guard loose as he thought he was in the presence of his best friend, but things immediately went sideways as Al Jordan used his ring to hold Barry in place. Barry was confused as to what was going on and tried to vibrate his way to freedom, but this was not possible as Al Jordan knew his friend all too well. Al Jordan stated that he wanted Barry to join him and become a vampire, but the vampire superiors would not let this. They believed that because of Barry's metabolism, he would quickly drink the world dry of blood. Therefore, Al Jordan was tasked with ending Barry. But Barry did not want this and tried to call to his friend again and again, begging him to snap out of it, but his pleas went unheard as Al Jordan turned his back and immediately ended him. The next day, the Justice League found Barry's body in the sand. Al Jordan, like all the others, shed tears at the sight of Barry, and Wonder Woman promised that they would find who did this and punish them accordingly. Batman was asked if he had any theories as to who did this, and he stated that he had none. Al Jordan stated that this was why they needed to work even closer together and that their enemies were picking them off one after the other. However, someone else was also feeling lost. Jana had not seen her brother for days now. Meanwhile, the Bat family had taken to the streets and started tracking and killing vampires. A vampire tried to outpower Batgirl, but Nightwing had made it just in time to save her, after which the two went back and forth, obviously flirting with one another, which pissed off the criminal they had just saved. Batman, on the other hand, went to the sewage under the Hall of Justice, and while he walked, he noticed that Jana had followed him along. He advised that she went back doing league work with the others, but she stated that she could feel something was wrong with her brother, like she could feel him down here, and yet he was no longer there. Batman took note of this. He knew the twins had some kind of connection with one another. Jana insisted that she wanted to know what had happened with her brother. Batman did not want to, but he did anyway. He told her that he had found 2 sets of DNA in the League's infirmary. One was of the vampire Andrew, and the second one was her brother's. She asked if the vampire Andrew had killed her brother, but Batman shook his head. However, he stated that the person that had done the cleaning had done a really sloppy job at it. After which he added that the highest concentration of DNA was around the sink, like someone had flushed blood down the drain, and that was why it was underneath the Hall of Justice to figure things out. Jana broke down in tears. Then again, I don't blame her. You have not yet subscribed and you're enjoying yourself. Subscribe, guys. Meanwhile, the streets were not so safe for villains. The Penguin ran through the streets as vampires chased him, but just in time, he came across Zatanna. He thought maybe she was going to save his life. After all, she was a hero. He was wrong. She was already a vampire. That night, Wonder Woman went back to the crime scene of Barry's death. She was in mourning of her friend. Al Jordan approached her from behind as he talked on how Barry had always had a crush on her and would not want to see her so sad. But he did this in the past tense. This was something she quickly took note of, as Al Jordan was quick of talking about Barry like he had died a long time ago. She was sharp to sense this and immediately used a lasso of truth around him to force the truth out of him, but she had been standing too close to him, and he instantly used this vampire hypnosis on her, after which he converted her into a vampire, just like himself. At around the same time, Black Canary had just arrived at the scene of the Penguin's death. So did Damian Wayne. Both of them looked at each other in suspicion of who was the vampire. A lack of trust saw that they battled it out. Damian thought he was winning until she pulled out some of his blood, after which she took off into the night. At the same time, Batman and Jana had managed to get broken bone samples from the sewage, and after analyzing them, Batman came to the conclusion that the blade used to blend her brother had not been metal, but instead it was made of light. Instantly, Batman knew who the vampire was. Meanwhile, Black Canary arrived at a hideout to meet with the Green Arrow. It turned out that she was not a vampire, and Green Arrow was already aware of the vampire situation in the city, as he also made his own findings on how to stop them. But he and Batman were too late, as Wonder Woman and Al Jordan had already come to the Justice League to reveal to them that Batman was the one that killed Barry and he was a vampire. Thank you guys. If you like this, then you will definitely want to check out that one time Lois Lane got Superman's powers and went for revenge. Also, if you want part 2 of this, let me know in the comments.